This week on Michigan's original and longest-running high school sports show.
Temperatures rising in the Mitten and playoffs underway in several sports. We've got postseason action in girls tennis and girls lacrosse.
The baseball world has a new all-time coaching wins leader. You'll meet him.
That and so much more coming up on State Champs. Hey everyone, and welcome back to State Champs. I'm Genna Rose. The masks are off in high school sports and we are preparing for the stretch run. Spring state finals will be here before you know it, and helping us bring it all to you each and every week is Lawrence Technological University. Our presenting sponsor wants you to get a chance at living the dream of playing collegiate athletics. Don't wait for a school to find you. Recruit yourself by heading to ltathletics.com.
All right, we go in the dugout this week on the winningest high school coach in baseball. He hails from BLOOMFIELD and he is an awesome guy. That's coming up. And do you really know the power of sleep? The experts with DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine do. Some of what Laura Ramus says in this week's Game Changers might just surprise you.
But we know you're here to take in some highlights. We're loaded up, so let's go.
I'm Jeremy Otto. Two teams close to the Michigan-Ohio border squaring off on a Monday afternoon as BLOOMFIELD welcome in the Bobcats from Ottawa Lake Whiteford, running a 16-game winning streak. BLOOMFIELD head coach Larry Tuttle just recently became the all-time winningest baseball coach in MHSAA history. BLOOMFIELD coming in at 23-3 on the season. We pick things up in the bottom of the first. With the bases juiced, the senior Nolan Savage gets the job done, grounding into the fielder's choice here. That would score Zach Horkey to give the Royals a 1-0 lead. The junior Chase Collier was on the bump for BLOOMFIELD here, getting Levi Hillard to go down swinging. More from the Royals in the third. The Bowling Green-bound Horkey setting this offering deep all the way to left for his second stand-up double of the game. The next batter would be Ty Wyman, and the senior would smack it up the gut. Horkey hustles his way all the way around to score, putting BLOOMFIELD up a pair. More from the Royals in the third with a runner on second and 2 outs. Scott Jackson rips it to left and another stand-up double. Savage would easily cross the dish. BLOOMFIELD now up 4 after 3. Whiteford looking for some momentum in the fourth, but Logan Tamarine grounds it to Savage. The flip to Wyman, who guns it to Jackson in time for the twin killing. BLOOMFIELD would add more to its lead in the bottom of the inning. It's Wyman once again with his second RBI single, scoring Horkey. The Royals in command of this one, up 6-0. And they would keep that momentum going into the fifth. Another Bowling Green commit, Gavin Gunnan, golfs it to center for the RBI base hit that plates Jackson to put BLOOMFIELD up 7. We head to the seventh. Whiteford down 7-1 here. Runners on second and third. Collier went the distance in this one and would get Cole Gisaji to ground it to Wyman, who throws it over to Jackson for the final out of the game. BLOOMFIELD would go on to beat Ottawa Lake Whiteford 7-1 the final. We head to the west side. Two top 20 teams in Division 1 squared off on a Tuesday afternoon as number 6 Rockford went on the road to take on Hudsonville, who's 20th in the state. The Rams would get the party started early in the top of the first with a pair on. The senior Lucas Rick at the plate setting it deep and way gone. Rockford out to a quick 3-0 lead. More from the Rams in the same inning. Brendan Schuler with the chopper here beats out the infield single. Isaac Toole makes the heads-up play and comes all the way around to score, and Rockford was up 4 after the opening frame. Hudsonville would get one back in the bottom of the fourth with a pair on. Nate St. John hits it to the opposite field for the single. That would bring home Cam Hardy to score, and the Eagles trailing 4-1 now. But the Rams respond in the top of the fifth with the sacks full. Owen DeVries sends one up the middle. Luke McLean and Caden Curry would touch home plate. Rockford up a 5 spot now, 6-1. In the bottom half of the inning, Hudsonville would chip away a bit as Brennan Hayes sends the solo shot to left. Eagles down 6-2 heading into the sixth. Lucas Rick from Rockford was having himself a day here in the top of the sixth. belting this one deep and gone for his second dinger of the game. Part of a 5 RBI day for the senior. The Rams in control, leading 8-2. Well, the Eagles not giving up quite yet. Bottom of the 6th with a pair on. JT Sokolov with a blooper that just finds the right field grass. Cam Hardy takes advantage and comes home. They added another run and now trailed 8-4. Rockford's Matt Hoekstra came in to close it out in the 7th, striking out the side, painting the corner to get Hardy here, looking to end the game, as Rockford would take down Hudsonville 8-5 your final.
I'm Ryan Slocum in St. Clair Shores, where the Lakeview Huskies hosted Lampere. Both teams' bats were blazing in this one. We'll pick it up in the top of the 2nd. Bases loaded for the Rams leadoff man KJ Whitman. He lifts one out to right. Noah Fakori is there for the out, but that's good enough for Noah Atherholt to come home on the sac fly, giving Lampere the first lead of the game. They'd load the bases again in the top of the 4th for the cleanup hitter, Justin Mexico. He grounds to second, but the throw sails into left. 2 more Rams come in to score. Lampere extends its lead to 5, and they're not done. Runners at the corners for Jake Malik. He lines to center. James McCool makes the grab, but it's another sac fly as Kristich tags from 3rd. Lampere now with a comfortable 6-0 lead. But the Husky bats finally come alive in the bottom of the 4th. Cam Knoll with the bases juice. He bangs one back up the box. Joe Neff dirties the dish, and the Huskies get on the board. Next batter is Fakori. He sends it up the middle, just past the glove of the diving shortstop. Evan Cool scores, and the Huskies are back in business. Lakeview with 2 ducks on the pound now for the 4-hitter, Michael Kelly, who knocks one to left. Fakori comes home. That cuts the lead down to just 1. Still in the 4th. Runners at the corners for Sammy Trineski. He hits it up the middle. The Rams shortstop knocks it down, but the run comes in. It's a 6-run Husky 4th, and we are now tied at 6 apiece. Same score in the bottom of the 6th. Runner at second for Brendan Gusciardo. He drives it to right. Nathan Hill rounds 3rd. He scores to give the Huskies their first lead of the game. But Lampere comes right back at him in the 7th. Drew Webster sends a shot to the wall in center. Noah Atherholt scores all the way from 1st. It's an RBI triple for Webster, and we have a brand new game tied at 7. Amari Curran now at the plate with a chance to take the lead, and he delivers. Curran grounds to second for the easy out, but Webster scores from 3rd. The Rams are back in front 8-7. So the Huskies need to score in the bottom of the 7th to stay alive. Fakori was at 3rd. The pitch slips out of the catcher's mitt. Fakori makes a break for the plate and slides in for the game-tying score, and they head to extra innings tied at 8. Bottom of the 8th. Fakori with the bases juiced, and the junior delivers with the walk-off single. Trineski comes in, and that would end it. Lakeview wins the thriller 9-8 over the Lampere Rams.
It's time to go in the dugout, presented by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. This week, we profile and celebrate Larry Tuttle from Blissfield High School, who recently became the all-time winningest baseball coach in MHSAA history.
Winning and losing takes care of itself. It's a great feeling, don't get me wrong. It really is. But you can't do this without having the players that have dedicated themselves. And over the years, I've had many players and many teams that this has taken place over the past 53 years that we've done this.
Coach Tuttle talks about what brought him to Blissfield over 50 years ago.
Well, I was teaching in Bedford, and when I grew up in the area near Morenci, grew up in Morenci, went to Adrian College, and they had a couple coaches that I really wanted to coach under, Jack Heppenstall and Al Schaefer. and they had been here. And Jack got a hold of me and said, hey, we have an opening in math. And I taught math when I was at Bedford, and he got in touch with me over there. And then I came here in '68, and I did it because I wanted to work with those guys because I knew they were great coaches. The baseball position was open, and that was my main reason for coming here, to work with them and to coach baseball.
Big question is, why would Coach Tuttle stay in Blissfield for over 5 decades as head coach?
I grew up in a small town. Blissfield's a small town, a rural community, and athletics, like in a lot of towns, is an integral part of their educational system, and it's been a very integral part of our educational system here, along with the other extracurricular activities. And I've had opportunities to move on, but the timing has to be right in everything, and I just have ended up enjoying my time here, enjoying the athletes that I've worked with and the administration and the community itself, because it's very supportive of our program.
We asked Coach Tuttle on how hard it was not having a season in 2020.
Difficult, very difficult, not only for the coaches, but also for the players. The players really, fortunately football got to play a season, basketball got to play a season, but they didn't have the state tournament, unfortunately. But baseball didn't get to do anything. And so we really are a year behind. Even though kids may have played a little bit in summer ball, there was still a limit on what they could do there. So our freshmen and sophomores that are now sophomores and juniors have basically missed out on a full year of instruction. And that made it very difficult for them, in addition for us and our program.
Besides being a longtime head coach, Larry Tuttle also served as president of the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association.
The association's a great association. We've done a lot of things, been a lot of changes that have made. I was president from 1988 to 90, and we had just started getting a lot of things in place then, and now they've been able to take and really advance them. And those men do a great job, and I'm just happy to be a part of that association.
During his time at Blissfield, 39 league championships, 28 district titles, 16 regional championships, and 7 state titles, the last one back in 2003. For Coach Tuttle, it's the love of the game that keeps bringing them back year after year.
I do it, number one, because I enjoy the association with them, but I enjoy seeing them grow up, become young men, and be an addition to society. Watching them go out, become doctors, lawyers, and if the one thing that we could do was instill some discipline in them along this line and help them to become a better citizen, then we've done our job.
I'm Lorne Plant for State Champs. State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos of DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about sleep. Is it your missing performance tool? Most of the time when we think about athletic performance and improving it, we think about practice, skill work, strength and conditioning, and even nutrition. We typically don't think about whether we get enough sleep or not, this affecting our performance. But more and more research is now showing inadequate amounts of sleep has a huge impact on our sports performance. By not getting enough sleep, here are some of the things that can affect your performance. Number one, it can decrease your strength and cause fatigue to set in earlier. It can affect your ability to accelerate during a sprint, and it can affect your overall sprint speed, your top speed and your average speed. And the American Academy of Pediatrics showed in a study that adolescents who got 8 hours or more sleep a night had a 68% less injury rate than those who did not get 8 hours of sleep. Athletes like LeBron James get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Here are some tips that you can implement to improve your sleeping. First of all, develop a consistent habit of sleeping, going to bed and getting up at the same time. Secondly, get the recommended number of hours of sleep every night. The CDC suggests 8 hours, but as an athlete, you may require up to 10 hours. And third, if you need to, take a power nap 1 or 2 times a day, especially if you're not getting that full 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night. Take your game to the next level. See an expert at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
I'm Mike Erlitis. We head to mid-Michigan for boys lacrosse action. The Vikings of Hazlitt visiting Midland. Vikings drawing first blood. Good look by Tyler Littleton to Justin Houle. He finds himself with some space in the middle and capitalizes. Hazlitt out to a quick 1-0 lead. Midland would quickly fire back with 3 unanswered goals in the first. Here's the last, as Mason Reed puts it home. Midland up 3-1 after one. Midland picking up right where they left off. Great passing as Chase Mahabir finds the cage. He finished with 4 on the night. The Midland O continuing to pour it on. Check out that shot by Ryan Stadelmeyer. Midland takes an 8-1 lead as we head to the half. Midland keeping the same trend in the third. Here's Mason Reed once again. He led all scorers with 5 goals. Same quarter and same Midland scoring. This time Ryan Pomranke finds the back of the net, his third of the game, as Midland rolls, beating Hazlitt by a final score of 14-2. We head to the jungle, also known as South Lyon High School, for softball action. The Lions hosting the Eagles of Heartland. We take it to the bottom of the third. This is when things would get interesting. South Lyon up to bat, down 3-1. Grace Walters with the fly to right. Maddie Seymour comes in off the sac fly to make it 3-2. With runners on the corners, Emily Johnson would ground to second. The throw to the plate is not in time as Tierney Donnelly slides headfirst for the tying run. South Lyon now up a run at 4-3 and continuing to roll. Madison McKenzie with the slow chopper. That's good for another RBI off the infield base hit. 5-3 Lions. South Lyon still up and still not done yet. Eleanor Vitale gets the blooper to fall in. 2 more runs score. Lions leading 7-3 as we finish the third. We head to the top of the fifth, still 7-3. Heartland threatening with a runner on third. Abby Gardner does her job, getting the ball on the ground. That's an RBI as the Eagles cut the lead to 7-4. Bottom of the fifth, and South Lyon threatening as well with a runner on third. The pitch gets past the catcher as Ava Bradshaw capitalizes, scoring off the pass ball. Lions gaining the run back, now up 8-4. We go to the top of 7, last chance for Heartland. Runners on first and second for Kelsey Zampa. She doubles to left as Kennedy Douglas crosses home to make it 8-5. Next hitter up, Delaney Robeson with 2 runners in scoring position. She takes a trip to the gap. Both runners come in as Heartland is now down just a run at 8-7. 2 outs for the Eagles. Katrina Stapleton at the plate. She bloops one up the middle, but shortstop Riley O'Connell comes up with a great grab to end the game as South Lyon holds on, topping Heartland in dramatic fashion by a final score of 8-7.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. I'm Lorne. Planned to West Bloomfield we go for a girls lacrosse pre-regional match between the West Bloomfield Lakers and Cass Tech. The Technicians in the midst of the school's first ever lacrosse season, the only one in Detroit. Lakers looking to get things started with 20 minutes left in the half. The senior Megan Mack patiently setting up the offense, finds daylight, splits the Technician defenders. Lakers, their first goal of the night. But Cass Tech would get their offense going 30 seconds later. Jordan Geter-Adams carrying the ball behind the net. She sees a wide open Taylor Weston in front. The sophomore buries it to tie the game at 1. West Bloomfield came back with a pair of goals of their own. Bonna Katie's sister Lana carries it out in front, fighting for position, bangs it down low for the goal. Lakers looking to pad their advantage. Rachel Zubriski gives it up to the senior Maddie Smith. Smith takes off, fights through contact. Her shot finds the back of the net. West Bloomfield took a 7-2 lead into the break. Second half action now. Lakers up 5. Peyton Long carries into the offensive zone. Passing off to Mack. She'll find Smith in front, who rips it downstairs. The senior finished with a team-high 5 goals on the night for the Lake Show. Cass Tech down 8, but still fighting with 10 minutes left in the game. Geter-Adams scoops up the loose ball, races around the net, and she will cut the deficit to 7. But it would be too much West Bloomfield on this night. Allison Lamb, the senior, will get possession, and she will find the twine. West Bloomfield goes on to win this pre-regional, 12-3 the final. Lakers advance to the first round of regionals and will face Utica Ford next week. Time now to take a look inside Lawrence Technological University Athletics. Lawrence Tech is starting a cheerleading team, and we met the new assistant coach to talk about her future at LTU.
Hi, my name is Amber Sachs, and I am the new assistant cheer coach at LTU. So this past winter, I was looking online to explore the possibilities of pursuing a cheer career in the college level. I have coached high school for 21 years, and I decided that it was time to see what else could be out there in terms of cheerleading. So I was looking on the internet and I wanted something a little close to home, something that was local and important to me, a school that I supported, as well as a school that maybe some of my previous athletes might be interested in attending. And I saw a job posting and I applied in the winter, and here we are in the spring. So I started coaching right out of high school. I started as a freshman coach. I actually was not a cheerleader in high school. I was not a cheerleader until college. And I decided that I was gonna help a girl that I was working with at the time, and I had so much fun that I decided that's something I wanted to do. So I proceeded to climb the ropes a little bit, and I took over a varsity team of my own. And then I have actually coached at 4 of the local area high schools in the last 21 years. My last 11 years have been spent at Walled Lake Western, where we are a state finalist team. However, I have made this a priority not only for the love of the sport, but because of the community and the athletes and the parents that are involved. So one of the most exciting things that I'm looking forward to in college is the experience and the transition of the style. So college cheer has more of a unified, universal, countrywide format versus high school in Michigan is very particular in the style and format that we use. I'm super excited to make that transition because I've always been a firm believer that Michigan high school athletes are just as good as out-of-state athletes, and even though the formats are different, cheerleading is cheerleading. And kids that are committed to the sport and have the athletic ability for the sport can make that transition really well, and I'm super excited to see what that looks like going forward with Lawrence Tech. So we started recruiting in the winter. As we were recruiting in the winter and now into the spring, we have ordered the uniforms and all of the necessary items that we need to get the program started. I think the goal for this year is to get the program off the ground. We're gonna get some recruits committed. We're gonna start with our spirit squad. We're gonna start with football games and basketball games and get everything kind of moving forward in the hopes to potentially compete. Maybe this year, might not be till next year. But at this rate, right now, our biggest focus is getting girls that are committed to the sport of cheerleading, wanna be committed to Lawrence Tech University, and want to help pump up the school spirit and get the vibe going at games.
Take your future into your hands. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
I'm Greg Molson in Linden to check out the Eagles, ranked 7th in the state in Division II, taking on Clio in a Flint Metro League matchup. Linden threatening with 2 runners on in the bottom of the 3rd, and it's Maddie Morris with the big hit, a line shot to the wall in left, driving in Megan Widener with the game's first run. The Eagles then make it 2-zip as Jordan Hobson comes home on the wild pitch. The Mustangs get on the board in the 4th. It's Hobson taken deep by Taryn Murphy, hitting it over the fence in center for the solo home run, cutting the lead to 1 at 2-1. The Mustangs looking to take the lead in the 5th with 2 runners on when Haley Ludwig comes in to pitch for an injured Hobson. Kennedy Coombe hits the fly ball to shallow center. Check out Madison Moores coming in for the running catch. The Eagles then load the bases in the bottom of the inning, and it's Emma Mossing at the plate coming through with a big hit to drive in 2 more runs to make it 4-1. And they needed those runs as Taryn Murphy goes deep again in the 7th. This is a 2-run shot to left to cut the lead to 4-3, but that was it as Linden holds on to win it, improving to 24-2 for the season.
State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards, taking place June 7th.
I'm Jeremy Addo. We head to Southwest Michigan for a Wolverine Conference matchup as Sturgis went on the road to take on Three Rivers. We start things off on the top of the 1st. Sturgis would get things brewing quickly. Shelby Bennett here takes a pitch deep and over the wall in right center for the 2-run homer. That would put the Trojans up 2-zip after the top half of the 1st. But Three Rivers would respond in the bottom of the inning with a pair on. It would be Chantel Bliley sending the offering to the wall in center for the stand-up double, scoring Gabby Charvat and Callie Haviland. We're knotted up at 2 now. The Wildcats would score 6 more in the frame. Ava Foreman rips this one off the 3rd baseman's glove, scoring Bliley this time. Three Rivers led 8-2 after the opening inning. Glass would collect this single to center here in the 2nd, scoring Natalie Barnes and Macy Ivins, the lead escalating all the way to 13-2 after the 2nd. Sturgis not giving up though. Here in the 3rd, it's Bennett lofting another to center, her 2nd homer of the day, and the Trojans now down 9, 13-4. Well, Callie Haviland, who's a finalist for the Detroit Athletic Club Female Athlete of the Year award, here in the 4th, the Alabama commit going way deep to center for the solo shot. Then it's Natalie Barnes getting in on the hit parade with the single up the gut, scoring Foreman, and Three Rivers would go on to beat Sturgis 19-4 the final.
I'm Ryan Slocum at Richmond High School for a softball matchup between the Blue Devils, ranked 2nd in Division III, hosting Imlay City. We'll pick up action in the top of the 2nd. Shay Van Scooter dealing for the Devils. This senior gets Kayla Rosen to swing and miss on the 0-2 pitch. Shay strikes out the side in the 2nd. Richmond had a runner on 3rd in the bottom of the frame when Van Scooter helps her own cause with a shot to right center, deep and gone. The 2-run jack puts the Blue Devils up 2-zip. The Spartans now threatening in the 3rd with 2 runners in scoring position, but Sky Stone hits a grounder to 3rd. Michaela Revord fires it over to 1st for out number 3, and Imlay City comes up empty. Van Scooter still dealing in the 4th. She mows Mackenzie Hayward down for another 1-2-3 inning. Shea finished with 8 strikeouts on the afternoon, and she would deal in the bottom of the 4th as well. The senior does it again, this time to left for her 2nd homer of the day. The solo shot gives Richmond a 4-0 lead. Lauren Creon then steps in the box, and she gets a base knock to left. Olivia Toit comes around from 2nd. Richmond up 6-zip heading into the 5th, where they had the bases loaded. Piper Clark at the plate, and it's time to pay the piper. The sophomore cranks it over the center field fence for a walk-off grand slam. It don't get no better than that. Richmond beats Imlay City 10-0 after 5.
Hi everyone, welcome back inside the State Champs Sports Network studio for another update in our Total Softball Player of the Year race. Joining me as he always does each and every week for this weekly soap opera that it's becoming is Donnie Dreher. And Donnie, how much fun are you having, especially now that things are constantly changing?
I'm enjoying it because we're just seeing numbers explode out, and so we're getting constant emails, we're getting updates from the coaches, we're getting updates from advocates. Brian and I are just having a blast watching this, and they're just putting up amazing numbers.
As has been the case for the last couple of weeks, we are making more changes. There are going to be 3 changes to the top 10 this week. So it's pretty insane. We're going to take it one at a time. And just remember, as we say this is not, we're not, tearing down somebody who is coming off. In a lot of cases, it's just somebody's playing so well, they have to come on. So, and in this case, there is at least one player who was off and is now back.
Actually 2.
There's 2. So as you can see, you can play your way back into the race. So let's start. For the time being, Richland Gull Lake Jr. Mandy Essman is coming off the list. Who's going in?
Yeah, well, I just want to say Mandy, like a lot of these kids, is just having a fabulous year. But we got to get Ellie Sealer back on her. Ellie's now hitting .699, which she's just tearing up. And I don't care what competition you're playing against. I couldn't hit .699 off a batting tee, right? She's also got a 67-game hitting streak, which I believe is second by a long stretch in Michigan. I think it was Hansen that had 91 or something. But Ellie's having a fabulous year, stealing a ton of bases, scoring a ton of runs. You're hitting almost 700. She deserves to be on the list.
Well, there you go. Our second, this is a senior, Heartland senior, Delaney Robeson, coming out of the top 10, replaced by who?
Well, we're gonna take her teammate, Rachel Everett. As the Heartland trio keep rotating around with Zampa, Robeson, and Everett. But Rachel Everett is pitching great. Her ERA is less than .3. But more importantly, she's doing it against the best teams. Right. So she's not pitching every game. They got a great number 2 in Swerkos, but she's throwing the big games, and against the big games against the really good lineups, she's got an ERA of under .3. She's just had a fabulous year so far. So she's going back on, replacing Delaney, which again, Delaney's hitting, almost 500. With 6 bombs, so she's having a great year too.
Lillian Valamont, the talented Trenton Jr., also coming out of the top 10.
Yeah, in my opinion, the best player in the state of Michigan. If I was picking a team, I would start with Lily Valamont. And she's just a fantastic talent. She's hitting .550. She's got 10 home runs. Yeah, she does have a ton of walks. Like a lot of kids in our top 10 and on our watch list, they're getting pitched around. That's just part of it. But right. Lily's having a great year. But Callie Haviland, she was off the list, and then she just monstered her way back on the list.
She took it personally, I believe.
I think so. So she's only hitting .636. She's scored 65 runs so far. That's better than 2.5 runs a game. And she's got 20 home runs now. The record is 26, so now all of a sudden, even in what I believe is a shortened season, it may fall. It may fall.
Like it is happening almost every year. I mean, I don't even know what the ceiling will be, like 40, 1 year. I mean, who knows? But yes, just killing it, right?
Yeah, so she had to come back on the list with those numbers.
Yeah. So congratulations to those who are back in the top 10. You can resume voting for those who are back in the top 10 by going to our website, statechampsnetwork.com. We do not want to dissuade you from voting when you see that Maggie Murphy has nearly 29,000 votes at the time of recording this segment. Clearly, she is far out ahead. However, in races as close as these, and if it's coming down to, a lot of the criteria is playing out similarly, we'll say, well, what has the support been for that athlete? And if you look and you see that they've got a generous helping of votes and people are out there really wanting to support their player, then we say, okay, if everything's equal, we're going to leave her.
That's exactly right. It could come into play. Not necessarily, but it could come into play, and that's why get every vote you can.
All right, so let me just reiterate what the timeline is going to be here for the next several weeks as we get closer to choosing who will be the total softball player of the year for the year 2021. First off, we are going to freeze the top 10 on Wednesday, June 9th. That is where we will freeze the top 10. It will be the few days following the districts, which is very important. And then the following Monday, June 14th, the voting will end. So that is where all the votes will be cast. And on Wednesday, June 16th, the final four will be chosen. That will be the day after state quarterfinals, which is a great indicator of who really should be in the final four. During the week of June 21st, that is when we will choose our champion, and we will figure out who that will be, but not until we most likely get through the state finals, as we most likely will have Final Four candidates competing for state titles. So before we go, real quickly, we have a softball podcast that airs on the network each and every week. It's called State Champs Swing Away, and it is hosted by Genna Rose, and Donnie, along with College Bound Jocks Brian Chittister, participates, although he won't be in this week's show. But we do have a DMC, physical therapist, that's going to be talking about softball injuries that you'll want to check out. But what is it that your main point will be on this?
As always, we're going to talk about shout-outs, because there's other kids than just these top 10 that are having great performances. So we want to update people on some great performances and give some shout-outs. And it's the time now with the College World Series. And we're going to talk a little bit about the importance for our softball players and what they should be doing, whether it's watching the College World Series. I mean, it's a great time to see the best players that in our game. But we're going to talk about how that can impact them. And Lauren, I really feel like kids of today do not understand the history of softball, and they really should. Having heroes, having kids to follow. Tiger Woods had Jack Nicklaus.
Right.
And these kids need to have heroes that they can follow. And I think they need to study the game, and they can start by watching the College World Series and seeing our best players play.
Usually
really exciting,
that rallies the crowd.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yes, exactly. All right, that is our update for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to vote and vote often at statechampsnetwork.com. For Donnie, I'm Lorne. We'll talk to you next week.
I'm Chuck Pellerito with the Cardinal Division Catholic League Baseball Finals from Jimmy John's Field. The Marine City Cardinal Mooney Cardinals, the visitors here, as they were taking on the University Liggett Knights. Kurt Barr on the hill for the Knights, and sophomore Blake Lutsky faced off, and they would duel it out. It was clean for both pitchers until the fourth. Cardinals with runners on second and third. Ryan Trombley at the dish, takes the pitch and pops it up into left center field. Joey Randazzo's throw to the plate not in time as Trent Rice tags up. Knights thought he left early, but to no avail. 1-0 Cardinals. Knights having a tough time getting on the board thanks to Mooney's defense. Runner on first, and Ryan Jones first pitch swinging, grounder to second. It goes 4-6-3 for a smooth double play. Barr still dealing, only giving up 3 hits so far and 4 innings of work, picks up another strikeout before he gets Ty Bodecker to ground out to Reggie Sharp at second base. Move ahead top of the fifth, Cardinals threatening again, runner on third and Lutsky at bat. Hits a pop-up into right field, freshman Preston Barr right there for the catch, throws to the plate, give credit to Ryan Jones, gets the ball, blocks the plate, and alert enough to put the tag on after Anthony DiGiuseppe missed the plate and holds this to a 1-run game. In the sixth, Liggett puts some pressure on. Jaron Purify singles into left, steals second, and a ball in the dirt moves him up to third. Randazzo lifts one the other way into right. That's got plenty of distance to bring the speedy Purify home, and a sac fly ties it up at 1. Cardinals get a runner to third with 2 down, but Kurt Barr picks up his 9th strikeout, and the Knights head to the 7th looking for the comeback victory. With Ryan Jones on first after battling for a leadoff walk, Jack Jones almost leaves the ballpark but ends up moving Ryan over to second. On deck was Oliver Service. He's swinging on the first pitch curveball that lands in front of the left fielder. Jones on his horse around third. He scores, and it was a dog pile behind the mound as University Liggett Knights walk it off over Cardinal Mooney 2-1 to go back-to-back as Cardinal Division champions.
It was unlike no other. I mean, it was better than anything I've ever done before. I mean, I knew it was coming. He started me off with first pitch curveball all game, so I'm sitting on it, drive it right up the middle, and I knew it. As soon as I hit it, Ryan was wheeling around third, and that was like the best feeling ever. Just knowing that game was over. We fought so hard, smashing balls all over the yard, but they're going right at them. But we never stopped. We kept rolling, and we ended up with the W. That's how you do it.
It feels fantastic. Our guys battled and battled and battled. Cardinal Mooney, heck of a baseball team, well coached, great kids. They battled to the end. I got to tip my hat to them. They pushed us to our brink, and they made us play hard. And I tip my hat to them, but I really tip my hat to our guys for battling, scratching, clawing, and Kurt Barr with a job he did on the mound. This game of baseball is second to none, and it gives so much to everybody. And to lose that last year was devastating to everybody. And it just means that much more this year because we realize how much we missed it, how much it means to all these boys and coaches and fans. So can't be more happy and very excited to keep playing baseball.
I'm Ryan Slocum. We go to the Catholic League Bishop Division title game with Brother Rice taking on the Eaglets from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The Warriors going for their first Catholic League title since 2017. Their bats heat up in the first. Man on for Braden Dowd, who belts one deep to right, over the fence and gone for the 2-run homer. Brother Rice out to a 2-0 lead. OLSM going for back-to-back league championships. They respond in the bottom of the inning. The junior Auburn commit Ike Irish smacks one the opposite way. The Detroit Athletic Club Male Athlete of the Year nominee Alex Mooney comes in easily. That cuts the deficit to 2-1. Jump ahead to the third. Rice threatening with 2 on. Senior Will Shannon with a chopper that gets through. That drives in Charlie D'Angelo. The Warriors add another run to take a 4-1 lead. The Eaglets get right back on the board in the bottom of the frame. Junior Jack Creighton with the line shot to the fence and left. Mooney touches the plate again. St. Mary's still down a pair at 4-2. And then they get some clutch 2-out hitting from Ryan McKay. The sophomore finds the grass and right. Crichton getting sent home, and he's in there. That would make it a 4-3 ball game. Brother Rice looking to build that lead back in the fourth. D'Angelo gets the job done with the sacrifice fly. That allows the sophomore Alex Cheeseman to come home. Warriors now up 5-3. We jump to the bottom of the seventh. Eaglets now trailing by 1 and down to their final strike and out. It's McKay with the shot to deep center. Irish scores on the RBI triple, and that sends the game to extra innings tied at 5. Rice threatening with runners on first and second in the top of the 8th. But the senior, Jake Keyser, slams the door with the big strikeout. That would end the threat. OLSM won the 2019 Catholic League Final in walk-off fashion. Could lightning strike twice in 2021? Yes. Irish with the seeing eye single to right. The sophomore Ryan Mooney touches home to put it away. Orchard Lake St. Mary's wins its second straight Catholic League Bishop Division title. 6-5 is your final score.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Isaac! Let's go! Let's go, boy! Let's go, man! Come on, baby! Let's go!
It's been awesome. You know, baseball's a weird game. On Monday, I hit it inside the park. On Tuesday, I went 0 for. And then today, I had a game winner. So, I mean, baseball's a humbling game, and it just gives back to you sometimes.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
I'm Kevin Trzynski, and we go to Dearborn High for a KLAA East Division matchup as the Pioneers host the Belleville Tigers. The Tigers outstanding so far this year with a 10-1-1 record, and they beat the Pioneers about a month ago, score 1-0. Dearborn not too shabby as well this year, 9-5-1. Both teams wanted to net that first goal in the first half, but great defense and kudos to the two between the pipes. Pioneers keeper Sydney Rossberry and the Tigers keeper Gabby Revels protecting the net under high pressure, keeping this a scoreless game at the break. Just minutes into the second half, the goals start to trickle in. Sophomore Serena Farage with a nice through pass to a streaking Rena Arabi. The senior settles and off the left boot far side and into the net it goes. Dearborn up 1-0. About 3 minutes later, the Pioneers strike again. This time it's Rena Arabi returning the favor with this beautiful pass as she connects with Serena Farage, and she's on the break. Tender comes out to challenge, but no chance as the young sophomore slips it by and puts it in for good measure. Dearborn increasing the lead up to 0. Scoreboard on the silent side for 20 minutes, but Belleville not out of it just yet. More underclassmen coming up big in this one. Rachel Riley working this ball to the net, and she rips one from distance outside the box that hits the back of the net. The sophomore Riley cutting into the lead 2-1 Pioneers. Just under 7 minutes left in the game. Dearborn awarded the penalty for a chance for some insurance and to put the game on ice. Rena Arabi gets the honors and she nets it home for the 2-goal lead. Belleville scored on a PK late as Dearborn comes out on top, splitting the season series. Your final score, 3-2.
I'm Greg Molson at the Clarkston Tennis Courts for a Division I regional. Let's start with the number 1 singles final. That's Lake Orion's Sienna Osborne serving on the line for an ace. The Dragons freshman didn't lose a single game in her first 2 matches on her way to the final. Walled Lake Central's Ariella Osipov was able to win a couple of games, but she couldn't slow down Osborne, who wins 6-1, 6-1, advancing to the state tournament.
It means a lot. I mean, I've worked so hard, and there's a lot of people that I'm working hard for, like my coaches and my mom and just the rest of my family. It feels good to work hard and be able to present to them I worked hard for you.
Lake Orion would get another regional champion at 2 singles. Nicole Luna in the far court taking on Bloomfield Hills' Danielle Herb. Luna was up 4-1 in the 3rd set when Herb had to retire. The rest of the final matches would all go to Bloomfield Hills as the Blackhawks put on a dominating performance. Starting at 3 singles with Grace Shaya, she won 6-love, 6-love. Julia Youssef was nearly as dominant in 4 singles. She won the finals 6-1, 6-1. Over on the doubles courts, the Blackhawks completed a clean sweep of all 4 flights, starting at 1 doubles, where the team of Hannah Tamina and Noah Goldstein won 6-1, 6-love over Rochester. They were the only Bloomfield Hills doubles team to even lose a game in the finals. At 2 doubles, it was Reagan Tamina and Carly Bernard beating the Clarkston team 6-love, 6-love. Clarkston would finish in 2nd as a team, qualifying for states. But Bloomfield Hills is the team that will be heading to the state finals full of confidence. Erin Stern and Natalie Robb with another love win at 3 doubles, and it was the same story for Ellie Alberts and Grace Bickersteth at 4 doubles, as Bloomfield Hills proves it's ready for the state tournament.
I think that we're ready, and more than anything, I think the girls are really excited about it, and that's makes me really happy and confident as a coach that they are motivated and they're hungry and they've got some pretty high expectations themselves, and so I don't have to do anything to light a fire under their feet. They are definitely their own driving force this year, and it makes coaching a lot easier in a lot of ways. So I'm just really happy for them, and they're having a great day and excited about it. So I'm excited with them.
We're 4 weeks away from the finish line for all of our spring sports and tournaments. The 2021 school year has been the most unique in the nearly 100-year history of the MHSAA. We've recognized and thanked a lot of different groups of people And one group that deserves a special shout out today are officials for all they've done in helping us get to the finish line. Officiating is a tireless and thankless job, but one of the most important. Our officials are knowledgeable, experienced, and most of all, professionals at what they do. Each year we honor a veteran official for his or her contributions to school sports. The award is named after Vern Norris, former MHSAA Executive Director and a well-respected official in his own right. This year's winner of the Vern Norris Award is Lou Klingman. Lou has been an official for 53 years, and his contributions at our track finals each year are invaluable. He's been a mentor to countless new and young officials and continues to be a member of the West Michigan Officials Association and the Association of Track and Field Officials of Michigan. Congratulations to Lou Klingman, one of our absolute best officials and leaders we have in our entire state. To learn more about the MHSAA, visit us at our website. That's MHSAA.com.
All right, before I lose again in rock, paper, scissors, I just want to shout out our colleague Ryan Slocum, who was just nominated for a Regional Emmy Award for his work on our latest installment in the Rivals series, in which he documented the Detroit King versus Detroit Cass Tech football rivalry. Of course, it was a team effort for many of us here at State Champs, but it's always great to be nominated. We've been blessed to win 8 Emmy Awards over the last 13 years. We'll see if Rivals can make it 9. If you haven't seen the show, you can watch it on our website or our YouTube channel or on the free streaming State Champs Sports app.
And please help our network grow by following us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever your platform of choice. Like, follow, and subscribe, and by all means, share it. Please check out our weekly spring podcast covering softball, baseball, and lacrosse. Face-off, swing away, and extra innings can be found on our website, statechampsnetwork.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Genna, let's do this. I don't even know would you win, like 2 in a row? Are you on a 2 in a row streak?
Maybe.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Rochambeau. 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 Yeah, I had this one. I was locked in. Congratulations, Ryan.
State Champs Michigan's high school sports show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards, taking place June 7th. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association, a proud partner of State Champs. For all things high school baseball coaching in Michigan, visit MHSBCA.org.